Percy Harrison Fawcett. British general, cartographer and traveler. He was known for his travels through the Amazon jungle, where he searched for the lost city of Zed. He was sure that the vast Amazon jungle hides more than one secret. And the biggest of them is an advanced civilization not yet discovered by mankind, which he thought was El Dorado. On May 29, 1925, during his last and fateful expedition, Percy and his son mysteriously disappeared in the Amazon jungle. This disappearance is surrounded by various myths and legends. Welcome to the interesting documentary channel, where today I will tell you about the incredible story of the explorer, Percy Fawcett. If you want more similar videos, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And now, have fun watching. Percy was born on August 18, 1867, Devon, England. Percy's father was born in India and was a Fellow of the Royal Geographical Society, and Percy's older brother Edward was a mountain climber, author of popular adventure novels. Percy attended Newton College in the 1880s. He later attended the Royal Military Academy, and on July 24, 1886, he was appointed a lieutenant of the Royal Artillery. That same year, Percy met his future wife, Nina, whom he married in 1901, and had two sons, Jack, Brian, and one daughter, Joan. On January 13th, Percy was appointed commander of the 1st Duke of Cornwall's Artillery Volunteers. And on June 15, 1897, he was promoted to captain. He later served in Hong Kong, Malta, and Sri Lanka. Fawcett joined the Royal Geographical Society in 1901 to study surveying and mapping. He later worked for the British Secret Service in North Africa as a surveyor. From 1903 to 1906, he served in the War Office on Spike Island in County Cork, where on January 11, 1905, was promoted to major. Fawcett's first expedition to South America took place on May 2, 1906. He was sent to Brazil by the Royal Geographical Society to establish a jungle zone on the border with Bolivia, impartial to the interests of local residents. Fawcett arrived in La Paz in June. On an expedition in 1907, he claimed to have seen and shot a 19-meter-long anaconda, but after such a statement he was ridiculed by the Society of Geographers. However, this did not stop him from reporting other unknown mysterious animals, such as a small cat-like dog, which he claimed to have seen twice, and the giant spider Apizaka, which was said to be responsible for the deaths of many natives. From 1906 to 1924, Fawcett organized 7 expeditions. He made friends with the locals by giving gifts and being polite. In 1908, he traced the source of the Rio Verde River in Brazil. Fawcett retired from the British Army on January 19, 1910. In 1911, Fawcett once again left his home and family to return to the Amazon and map hundreds of kilometers of unexplored jungle. In 1914, Fawcett heard about a lost city, which he named City Zed. According to Fawcett, this city must have been somewhere in the Mato Grosso region of Brazil. Fawcett theorized that a complex civilization once existed in the Amazon region, and that the ruins of this city must have survived. Fawcett also found a document known as Manuscript 512, written after explorations in the Sertão of the state of Bahia, and stored in the National Library of Rio de Janeiro. It is believed to be the manuscript of the Portuguese Lieutenant João da Silva, in which he wrote that in 1753 he discovered the ruins of an ancient city, which contained arches, statues, and a temple with hieroglyphs. The city was described in great detail, but its specific location was not indicated. This city became Fawcett's second object of interest after the city, Z. At the start of the First World War, Fawcett returned to Britain and served in the British Army as a reserve officer in the Royal Artillery, volunteering for duty in Flanders and commanding an artillery brigade although he was in his late 50s. March 1918. He was promoted to lieutenant and received 3 awards for his duty. After the war, Fawcett returned to Brazil to study the local wildlife and archaeology. In 1920, he alone tried to find the city of Zed at his own expense. But he was forced to stop the expedition due to fever. In 1924, financed by a group of London-based financiers, Fawcett returned to Brazil with his eldest son, Jack, and Jack's best and longtime friend, Rimmel, to find the Z. Fawcett left instructions, saying that if they did not return, there would be no rescue expedition should be sent lest the rescuers suffer his fate. Fawcett had many years of traveling experience and took with him canned goods, powdered milk, a gun, sextant, and a chronometer. His traveling companions, one of whom was his older son, were chosen for their health, ability, and loyalty to each other. Fawcett chose only 2 companions in order to travel more easily and be less noticeable to the local tribes. Some of the local tribes were particularly hostile to outsiders. On April 20th, 1925, Fawcett's expedition left Cuiabá. In addition to his 2 principal companions, he was accompanied by 2 Brazilian laborers, 2 horses, and a pair of dogs. The last message from the expedition came on May 29th, when Fawcett wrote in a letter to his wife that he planned to go into unexplored territory with only Jack and Raleigh. The letter said they were crossing the Upper Xingu, a southeastern tributary of the Amazon River. In the last letter, it was mentioned that it was written from Dead Horse Campground, where Fawcett's horse died a few years ago. Their coordinates were indicated. In January 19th, 27, almost 2 years after Fawcett's last message, the Royal Society of Geographers issued a statement in which they recognized what they are missing. Soon after the society made the announcement, a large number of volunteers appeared to try to find the lost explorers. However, expeditions trying to find Fawcett were unsuccessful. At least 1 person died during the rescue expedition. Many people believe that local Indians killed Fawcett and his son because they were in the territories of unfriendly tribes at the time. The Kalapalo are said to be the last tribe to see them. According to researchers, Fawcett's party of 3 was too small to survive in the jungle, and his expectation that the Indians would take care of them likely killed them because they had no gifts to repay their generosity. 20 years later, a Kalapal chief named Kamatsi told his people how the unwelcome strangers were killed. Although it was widely believed that they were probably lost and starved to death, and Kamatsi even showed them the bones of one of them, which, after the investigation, showed that it was not their bones. 2 explorers, Edmar Morel and Nilo Veloso, reported that Kamatsi's predecessor, Izarari, told them that he killed Fawcett and his son Jack by shooting them with arrows, after Fawcett allegedly attacked him and other Indians, when they refused to give him local guides and carrier. Izarari told them that Rimmels had already died of a fever at the Curicuro camp. A somewhat different version was given by Orlando Villas Boas, who reported that Izarari told him that he and his men of the tribe killed all 3 men the morning after Jack allegedly slept with one of the chief's wives. Fawcett slapped the tribe leader to the face, after the chief refused to give the canoe and porters to continue their journey. The offended commander killed them. The Kalapalo tribe has a story that is passed down from mouth to mouth about 3 explorers. The story says that the 3 men went east, and after 5 days the Kalapalo noticed that these men were no longer making fires. The people of Kalapal believe that they were probably killed by a very cruel tribe. However, when the men were last seen before heading into the jungle, the 2 younger men were limping and sick, and there is no evidence that they were killed. They likely died of natural causes in the Brazilian jungle. However, there are those who believe that Fawcett didn't even intend to return home, and ended up finding the city's sea, and he even became the leader of one of the Indian tribes. What do you think really happened to him? You can leave your opinion in the comments section. And now, thank you for watching and see you in the next video of the interesting documentary.